Next presentation this evening is an update on the SABLE program, and at this time I'd like to recognize Chief Ralph Evangelos of the Wilmington Police Department. Chief, welcome.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, City Council. I'd like to give you a brief overview of our SABLE program. That's the Southeastern North Carolina Regional Air Support Unit. The primary mission of the SABLE unit is to provide direct support and assistance to emergency services functions, to include uniform and investigative personnel in their effort to prevent crime, apprehend criminals, and to serve the citizens of Southeastern North Carolina. Partners in SABLE are Wilmington Police Department, Pender County Sheriff's Office, Leland Police Department, and the New Hanover County Sheriff's Office. The New Hanover County Sheriff's Office provides a full-time tactical flight officer assigned to the unit. Regional operations encompass over 1,265 miles, 7 days a week, scheduled during peak call times, immediate response during shift, an average 30-minute response time when we're on call, when not actively at the airport. Our response times at any point in Wilmington is 3 minutes and 30 seconds, and our response time to the farthest point regionally is 20 minutes. Police Department, the Wilmington Police Department and the New Hanover County Sheriff's Office have full-time members. We primarily self-dispatch approximately 70% of the calls. That means when we hear an armed robbery come out, we don't wait to be called. We respond immediately to it, a pursuit. 30% of the calls are dispatched or requested by various entities and agencies. Operational requests such as SWAT investigations, drug investigations are dispatched or requested. Mutual aid from the Coast Guard and some of our military partners, and on-call requests. We respond to all on-call requests. Flight approval oversight. I mean, we don't just haphazardly fly. We schedule weekly schedules, and they're briefed and approved prior to being scheduled. When changes are authorized, it's by the watch commander at dispatch. Requests come in, the watch commander will approve it, and other changes require SABLE supervisor to be informed prior to any changes to the schedule being made. Standard flight operations. We fly normally at 1,800 to 2,000 feet. Our average airspeed is about 60 knots. That's about 70 miles an hour, 1.15 miles per hour per knot. And that's the most effective for noise abatement operations. Deviations from that altitude is based on operational requirements. We fly about 1,000 to 1,200 feet, which is the most effective altitude for FLIR, which is forward-looking infrared operation. Airspeed, we can fly anywhere from 0 to 120 knots, which is about 130 miles an hour or so maximum airspeed. Noise abatement. You know, we do on occasion get noise complaints, and so not all normal operations are conducted within FAA and industry recommended best practices for minimums. The Helicopter Association International study recommends that altitude be 1,000 feet over noise sensitive areas and airspeed at or below a cruise speed of 90 knots. The FAA also recommends a 2,000-foot altitude over noise-sensitive locations. We have a letter of agreement with the FAA that allows us to operate at or below 2,000 feet because of our airport and some of the flight approach issues. If we fly above 2,000 feet, we have to actually get with the tower and get permission through various levels to fly below 2,000 feet. So when we have the letter of agreement, we can stay at 2,000 feet or below without having to address the other FAA issues. Noise mitigation. Our altitude, we try to stay at 2,000 feet when we can, 1,200 feet for active searches. Airspeed, we stay around 60 knots for normal operations. And if you notice, we always turn to the right, because as you turn to the left of the aircraft, the noise signature increases pretty dramatically. If possible, we try not to fly near known noise awareness locations. So we know where they are, we try to stay away from them. What kind of noise do we produce? Well, an OH-58 produces at 500 feet, 85 decibels. At 1,500 feet, 68. A normal conversation at 3 feet is 60 to 65 decibels. Passing a diesel truck is about 85. An increase in decibel levels, so 1 dB is, you don't feel that change so much or hear that change. At 5 dB, it's noticeable. At -4 dB, we can reduce noise levels by 40%. There's a new tail rotor that has been designed for this aircraft that will, if upgraded, and it's $20,000, so we have not purchased it, will decrease the noise signature by approximately 40%, which is pretty substantial. And so at some point, we probably should think about upgrading the tail rotors on both of those aircrafts so that we can at least get the noise signature down pretty substantially. Flight constraints. Sometimes people say, well, they're just sitting up there, not doing anything. Well, sometimes that's true, and I want to explain to you what restrictions we're under by FAA and by the airport. Commercial aircraft normally have priority. FAA will grant priority and assist on emergency calls with us. In other words, they'll clear airspace in emergency for us. Requires flight path and position modification. So depending on what's coming into the airport, we have to reposition our aircraft and hold. Wind dictates positioning and how we fly, and ceiling and visibility dictates positioning, depending on how low the ceiling closes in on us. Now this is an important slide here. If you see those red lines are the runways. Those yellow blocks are restricted buffer zones. So when incoming aircraft are coming in, we are restricted to stay in that V right there. So a lot of times we have to stay right there and wait and hold until we're cleared to cross, to either get back to the airport or go somewhere else. So a lot of times we're kind of restricted to what we can do, and that can be 10 to 15 minutes of flight time. So sometimes that's what happens to us. These are our calls for service. Year to date in 2013, in the right column there, we've handled about 422 calls for service. As you'll see, anything from robberies to burglaries in progress, large fights, foot chases, assaults, shots fired calls. I mean, it's a gamut of various activity. In 2012, we handled a total of 522 calls. We're actually above that. We're going to exceed that this year. Social media. In an effort to be transparent and to try to get out to the public, we've established a social media arm of the Air Unit. So we have launched Facebook, Sable Facebook and Twitter. We focus on operational information. In other words, we don't put anything up there that's super secret, but we try to let the public know what's going on or what has gone on. We post flight describe on calls and successes, passing information during flight when we can to the Twitter account, and public situational awareness with fires or accidents. We attach videos to demonstrate effectiveness of the program, and this transparency we're hoping will reduce the fear of the unknown, that we're up there just spying on people. And so as you'll see, the Facebook is sable.air.unit, and the Twitter account is @SableAirUnit. This just shows how many people on our Facebook have been following us. It's about 1,500 right now. That number may be actually a little bigger than that now. So we are starting to get people who are starting to follow us to understand what we're doing, and hopefully that'll help in understanding what the unit's capable of. Okay. Let me just show you a couple of videos here. Just some of the these are real videos that we've used during some of our operations. This is a missing dementia patient where we were able to, Sable found him, and we were able to direct officers in to recover the person. Okay. As you see right there, that's where the person is, right there. And there are the officers.
Okay, do another 90-degree turn.
Right here.
And walk straight.
It's pitch black out there, so you really can't see a thing, but we're using FLIR to pick up the heat signatures.
About 10 feet in front of you.
That's about 10 feet, and it's pitch dark there.
You're almost right on top of it at one point.
1019, 1019.
This next video, some swimmers at Riceville Beach that were called in as being distressed. So we were able to get out there and to actually deploy flotation devices to them prior to boats getting there to pick them up. Okay. As you can see, one of the flotation devices has already been deployed. There's the
We've
second
deployed
one over there.
flotation devices at this time. Both subjects are grabbing onto one flotation device.
And the final one is a break-in and entering a burglary suspect that was hiding in the wooded area, and how we directed the K-9 in to apprehend. You see the suspect
Going down that whole
right
path,
here,
and it's going to be off to your right, the heat source is on.
right in there. This is where the suspect is.
Going right there to your right.
You see the dog went right by him until they directed him in there. And say hello to my little friend. And he's in custody.
Copy 10-3, 10-3.